Hi, and welcome to Cascadeur. The in-betweening generates animations. And what's important for us animators is to have enough control over the animation so we can get the exact end result we want to. And this way to create the animation we are envisioning. In this video, I'll tell you how to use this new tool and what to expect from it in the new versions. Like this video if you enjoy Cascadeur. Let's get started. I need this character to move from A to B. This is going to be my A. Then I'll create a new key in the 50th frame, and I'll move my character here. This is B. So here are my two keys. Now I'm selecting the frames on the timeline, and I click on the in-betweening. Let's see what I get. I see the generated frames on the timeline. Now press the key S to get into the viewing mode. Then press play. The first thing to notice is that in-betweening always takes into consideration the existing poses in the keyframes. The in-betweening only generates animation in between the keys. The generated animation is going to keep the keyframes intact. And in my animation, the character starts moving from standing straight. And standing straight is also the key end frame. Let me create a new key and move the character even further. Let's see what happens. To regenerate the animation, I need to select the frames again and then click on the in-betweening button. As you can see, now when the character is moving from the second key, they stop for a little bit. This emphasizes this middle key of standing still, and then the character proceeds to the final pose. If I want to have a more uninterrupted walk, I'll have to edit the keyframe in the middle. I'll change it to mid-step position. And here I'm regenerating the animation again. As you can see, by adding keyframes and editing them, you can refine the final result. Apart from manipulating the key scenes, timing is the next important step. Timing refers to the time in between the keys in which the movement is happening. The more frames you have between the two keys, the more time there is for the move. Some moves require more time than the others. This makes sense especially if you take a look at, for instance, a stroll, which would require more time to get from A to B. This means that the more frames you have in between the keys, the slower your character is going to move. Now, if I reduce the number of frames, the character speeds up, even to the point of running. Now, you still need to keep in mind the keyframes that you've selected. Sometimes the tool might not be able to catch up with the timing. Here is a good example. You can see where the character is kind of skipping to the end pose. Now, skipping like this means that there are not enough frames to generate a more complex movement. Of course, all of this is also related to the distance that the character needs to cross. If you have a longer distance, you either need more time or bigger steps. In the newest version of Cascadeur, when you go to scene settings, you can select different styles of movement and specify whether you prefer a walk or a run. It's the first iteration of this functionality, and it's still partially in development. So while you can still play around with it, some of the styles might not be available. At this time, poses in the keyframes and timing are going to have the most impact. In this scenario, even if I select a walking style, the timing that I have is not going to allow our character to move slowly. I do need to add more frames in between the keys. Now let's take a look at the reverse situation. I want my character to run, but I give it way too much time. I select the running style, select the frames, and generate the animation, but the character is not running. One of the issues is this middle frame. It's more suitable for a walk. Second, I only have a few frames in between standing still and this step. My character simply doesn't have enough time in between the two. Let me fix the middle keyframe. Now it's suitable for running. And this also is going to change the movement. If you need to speed up or slow down the animation without changing the nature of the movement, then you can use the stretching mode. In the new version of Cascadeur, it's a lot easier to work with the physical assistant when working with in-betweening. Now you don't need to mark fulcrum points. They'll be set automatically even for the frames that don't have the keys. This way you can make adjustments taking physics into account. This helps a lot since in-betweening itself does not take physics into consideration. For example, in the animations of jumps, ballistic trajectories might be slightly off. I need to select Jump in the Style menu and make sure I add a key in the middle with a character in mid-air, and then regenerate my animation. Currently, this jump doesn't look natural. To identify the issue, let's take a look at the trajectory of the center of mass. Here, you can see the speed change in the middle of the ballistic trajectory. This can be easily fixed with Autophysics. Autophysics fixes all the ballistic trajectories, making them as realistic as possible. In the Physics Settings tab, you can also play with other settings. For example, you can make the character less bouncy. For more details on the physics settings, check out our physics pipeline tutorial that you can find on our channel. Once you're done, simply snap the animation to the physics assistant. Next, I can continue working with this animation using unbaking. And these are the main things about in-betweening that I wanted to share with you today. We'll be very happy to hear your feedback about this new tool. You can leave your comments here or join our community on different social media. I'll leave all the links in the description. Thank you so much.